All right, welcome to a podcast from beneath. This is episode 8, The Monster Squad. As always, I'm here with Eric
Hey.
and Billy.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How you guys doing?
Pretty happy because that
Pretty
was
good.
pretty successful. All right, nice.
It was pretty successful. Yes, yes.
Nice.
Had to
So,
take
what
a
have you
little
guys been
break
into?
last week, huh? Oh, I
Yes,
just saying
yes,
like,
you weren't.
oh,
Yes, you weren't here last week, and I forgot to even mention it in the episode.
that's
I
perfectly
apologize about
fine
that.
because I have to give props where props are due. That was an entire hour episode, and Roger Corman was not mentioned a single time. So
Oh, but he
fantastic,
will
boys.
make
Love you.
his revenge. All right, coming
Yeah.
back.
He will be back.
Just give it time.
Corman
Yes.
will return in.
You know who to call when you have ghosts. But who do you call when you have monsters?
We're the Monster Squad. What's a squad? It's like Miami Vice, I think.
They're young.
Y'all remember when the first time y'all seen it?
It was like yesterday evening.
Really, the first time?
The first time you
I
saw it
mean,
was yesterday?
Yeah, I vaguely remember it. Like, I remember the fat kid with the shotgun, that little bit. Like, when that popped up, I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of remember that. So I must have seen it when I was a kid or something. Or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure your sister probably has like a bunch of those.
Yeah, I mean,
Old,
she had
yeah.
the DVD, so I'm pretty sure that's where I saw it. So,
What about you, Carrie?
I would have seen it again, like with every movie we reviewed so far. I would have seen it when I was a kid, when it first came out, I guess, on home video.
so like 1989, because I knew home video took forever back then. Like, it wasn't like today where you can pre-order movies as soon as they're in the theater.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, I guess so. It came out in '87 in theaters. Um, so I guess probably the following year it probably hit video,
Hmm.
You know,
that's when I would have seen it.
Hmm.
Monster Squad, probably Night of the Demon was probably the most like I probably rented those movies like the most out of all the movies I ever rented. Like those two were like the favorite of mine when I was a child. I loved Monster Squad.
See, I would have rented it once, but we had two VCRs, so I was able to make a copy and was able to just watch it over and over
Whenever.
again.
Yeah.
So you admitted on air that you pirated that movie.
Yes, but I didn't sell it. I didn't sell my copy or rent my copy back out.
Oh.
So
SWAT team busted the door. Boom! The real
yeah,
Monster Squad. They're the Monster Squad.
yeah. So
And
I would have seen it as a kid the first time, and I guess watching it again, I hadn't seen it when I watched it this last time as a refresher for this episode. Would have been the first time I'd seen it since I was a kid.
oh, really?
Yeah. Like I said, first time I saw it as a kid, I must have watched it 1,000 times.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But then seeing it again after so many years, I got to say it still holds up. It's still a good movie.
Well, that was my next question, whether or not it was still in favor or not.
Oh,
It
definitely.
is, and it's watching it now. It seemed like it's more. I don't think it was made for kids,
Mm,
even though it had kids, like the main cast were kids.
okay.
It because I remember everybody comparing it to like the Goonies.
Yeah, I definitely had that. That was one of the things I wanted to bring up for sure, is that you say it wasn't made for kids, but I feel like it was. It was trying to. It's definitely a movie that tried to capture that Spielberg charm of like the Goonies, or what was that other one? Oh, I guess
E.T.
the E.T. at the time. Yeah, I'll just throw that in there. That that kid adventure thing, but it still had that little bit of edginess because they all cursed. Like, whoa, it's crazy.
Yeah, I guess that's what made me think of like if that movie had come out now, it would have been not for kids. Like kids these days wouldn't have been able to go see it. Right? I don't think it would have been an R.
No. Yeah, if it was
Uh,
totally made today, it would be made in the same fashion as like Stranger Things or something.
But I
Yeah.
think even if they left the language in it and the blood today, I think it would have been. I don't
Then
think it
like
would have a lot of kids watching
PG-13
it.
probably.
PG-13, yeah.
Sure.
Because what was shocking, I guess, about it was in the beginning of the movie, I'm pretty sure I heard the word faggot at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just tossed
Fucking
around like, nothing, right?
how times have changed.
Did you I just read a little thing about it. The person that played the big kid, Horace.
Mhm.
The name's Horace.
Yeah.
He died.
Did he?
Really?
Yeah, he's dead.
I did
Man,
not know that.
diabetes is no joke.
Yeah, I think he died. Was it? What does it say? I think he got real sick. Let's see when he died. I don't think it shows it. No, I don't see anything.
December 9th, 1997.
22 years
Wow.
old.
22 years old, yep.
Did it? Did they tell you how he passed away? I'm
Pneumonia.
curious. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, in Las Vegas. He was 22.
Hmm.
He was a
Yeah, I did
legal
not know that.
assistant before he died. Poor guy. Anywho, sorry for the bad news.
Yeah, now I'm just like
That's fine.
now we're just a sad squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all quiet through the whole episode.
We're just all somber.
Yeah.
Right. So there were some things that I learned that I wouldn't have cared about as a kid, right? But this was written by Shane Black.
Or yeah,
Yeah.
co-written by Shane Black and co-written by the film's director as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which they
Fred
both
Decker.
wrote Predator.
Yeah, so this
Yeah,
film
yeah.
was written by Black and Decker.
Black and
Fuck
Decker. That was a good one.
Right, and then the
Man,
other, I guess,
I feel like
I
you had
guess-
that written down on a note somewhere. That was so good.
not written down. I've got it in my sticky notes app on Windows here.
Knew it. You
Make
saw
sure
the
I
thing on the
see
screen.
this.
You're like, oh, Shane Black and Fred Black and Decker. Wow, that's
But I guess another thing that I wasn't aware of was that Stan Winston, I guess, had done the special effects also,
oh yeah.
which the special effects were really good.
Yeah, the werewolf transformation I thought was pretty well done.
Well, I think my favorite would have been the
Creature.
creature from the Black Lagoon, or the
Yes,
Gill Man,
that
as
was
they
actually
called him.
really fucking cool. Like I
Yeah.
have to give props where props are due. That was a really awesome outfit. It was nice and just like gross and just always kind of wet looking and
Yes.
everything. Had those gills that moved and you couldn't see the actor's mouth when like it roared or whatever. I thought it needed way more screen time than it got. I'm just gonna
That's
put that out there.
that was another point I was going to bring up was, well, so let's start off with the fact that every monster in here is a universal monster.
Yes.
So that's obviously the where they all come from.
Yeah.
But my first question is, in this movie, do the universal monsters exist?
Well, it's really never brought up movie-wise. All the monsters are talked about through like not novelizations, but just like you know what? No, okay, I take that back because they totally showed Frankenstein like a Frankenstein mask modeled after like Boris Karloff.
Correct.
Yeah.
So-
I don't know. It's never directly referenced, but then again, are points that point toward that being the case.
Right, because they bring up, I mean, obviously, the Dracula in this is the universal Dracula,
Yeah.
even though Dracula is based on Vlad the Impaler. You know what I'm saying? So that's where they could have got that from.
Yeah, good old Vlad the Poker.
But there are rules with like the werewolf and the silver bullet and all that stuff. That comes from the Universal werewolf movies, right? That doesn't come from anywhere else.
I'm not aware, so that could be right.
Yeah, maybe.
So then my next question is, if you were to remake this movie today, would you make it to where the slashers from the 80s actually come into the real world?
I don't know.
You know, you have a group
Well,
of
I
kids
mean,
who are fans of the slasher films,
oh, okay.
and then they find out, oh, Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, Leatherface, they're all real and they're in our town.
They're just here.
Right.
Isn't that crazy, guys?
You're gonna have to kill everybody in the movie.
Yeah.
Everybody's dead.
Because before you brought up bringing the slashers into the mix, the only movie that I could think of that kind of did this idea again was that really not so good movie Van Helsing from I don't know how long ago, maybe 10 or 12 years ago.
with
Hugh Jackman.
with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman.
So I never watched that one. So it had
Yeah,
obviously Dracula, but it had like
it's
a Wolfman and
not good.
a mummy and all that in it.
I didn't have a mummy. Definitely had the Wolfman. Had Dracula for sure. Had Frankenstein's monster for sure. Um, had Jekyll and Hyde very briefly at the beginning, but that didn't really add up to anything.
But I think that was like just the fact that they were Universal monsters. I don't know how they got. I mean, I guess they don't really say because they call him Gilman instead of
Yeah.
the creature or whatever.
Because
So I
who
guess
owns the right?
there's not really any copyright. I'm assuming Universal still owns all the rights.
But who produced or did
I don't-
Monster Squad? Maybe that's why they couldn't say because
TriStar.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of that stuff is based on literature that's, I think, it's public domain.
Yeah.
So maybe they might not own the rights to the character per se, but maybe the likeness that they created. That makes more sense.
Yeah. They get to put their own little spin on it or whatever.
Yeah,
But yeah, the Gilman was definitely the best looking one.
it was very good.
I like the mummy. I mean, I like Gilman too, but I also like the mummy. How?
The mummy looked
for
good.
for the 5 minutes he was in the movie.
Yeah.
Well,
And
see,
it's
that was my other
full-
problem. Is
yeah.
like you had Dracula was obviously the main villain,
Yeah.
and then the Wolfman was kind of his.
Enforcer.
Yeah, I would say the Wolfman, I
Like a-
guess, replaced
Like
Renfield,
a strong arm.
Yeah.
and then you just had, and of course Frankenstein, I guess, kind of played a bigger part since he, his relationship with the girl, and then joining the Monster Squad. So then the Mummy and the Gilman were just there as Universal monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both have an introduction, and then the next time we see them is when they die.
Well, see, I'm gonna raise my arm here because after I finished this movie, I had a real issue about how the movie didn't even really try to juggle the monsters. They were just there for, I don't know, not background stuff, but they were there not really for a means to an end. They were there because they were monsters. So their time on screen was next to absent, and it kind of made me feel like this movie's kind of missing a first act. I mean, it's really quick with the introductions, and then most of it's just like the rest, or not the last bit with like the church area and everything, but most of this movie is basically just like a big, like, shoving force just to get to the end. Like it just keeps
It is.
going.
I mean, the movie is only an hour and 19 minutes long,
Yeah.
and then I read
Barely
that.
feature-length.
Yeah,
They cut 13 minutes.
But I was reading about it, and apparently the movie's actually only like 80 minutes, and
Oh,
they
yeah, too, it's
slowed
52 minutes.
down. They slowed down the credits just to pad it to make it longer.
That's kind of ridiculous. I feel like there is no beginning of this movie. It just happens. Like
Yeah,
it
they
just happens.
They also cut 13 minutes because I read they said like the executives didn't. They didn't want it to run more than 90 minutes.
I mean,
So
I
they
get
cut
that
13 minutes,
because
yeah.
same reason why like pop songs shouldn't be longer than 3 minutes on the air. It's just kind of like
Yeah.
a popcorn movie.
Right.
But
But yeah,
there's definitely. Go ahead.
There's definitely something missing from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because when it comes on, it's obviously it just starts with this panning shot, I'm assuming through Transylvania, I guess is where it's at. Because it's like right after the opening where it talks about the about Van Helsing trying to fight. And then
Dracula.
that's what it eventually goes to,
Yeah.
where it's panning through. And that was that panning shot once it gets to the castle. That was an awesome matte painting of the castle.
Was it a
It-
matte
it-
painting?
it
I
looked
remember.
like it.
I remember that just because it was so quick. Like they, it's like, what do you call it? I don't know. They breezed through it pretty quickly. That whole little bit. It wasn't even like establishing anything more or less, because we don't really know too much about what he was doing until they read Van Helsing's book about halfway through the movie, anyways.
Right. It's basically the beginning was basically the end of the movie, but with what happened previously.
Yeah.
Like, I guess because this is going to happen every 100 years.
It's almost like it was visual exposition, just like get that out there, and it'll make sense later.
Right. So then after that, that's when we start. Well, that's when we meet, the kids.
What was their names again? Hang on, I can remember. There's Horace.
Sean and Patrick is the first two we meet because they're in the principal's office or whatever.
Isn't he wearing a Stephen King Rules shirt, or is
He
that
is. He is.
okay?
And I'm trying to. Is that where that came from? Was it because that's like a popular shirt now?
Oh yeah,
I just wonder if that's the first time we've seen it was in this movie.
I want to
Maybe.
believe so.
I feel like it's the kind of thing that pops up in a movie like this that has like a huge cult following, and then suddenly you find it in Hot Topic shops.
Right.
This movie actually bombed in theaters.
Didn't?
Yeah.
Oh man, did it bomb? Yeah, it made roughly $4 million on a $12 million budget.
Right.
That's bad. That's really bad.
I think it was going up. If I want to say it was like going up against like some other movies that like some other well-known movies. I can't remember what they were though.
Well, it came out in '87. Can't really think of famous '87 movies.
Probably a Freddy movie.
Oh, by that time it's like number 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Freddy's
take
got a
it back.
barbershop.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But back to the beginning. So like once that establishing shot's done, we from then on it's just the kids. My only other problem with it is how did all that come together in this town, right?
Yeah.
So the mummy's already there because I guess there's an exhibit at their museum or whatever.
Maybe Dracula can like speak to him and with in their minds or something. Because when that happens, is the plane already up in the air where he's at? His coffin.
I guess I don't because
that's
well,
Frankenstein though, or
Yeah.
Frankenstein's monster rather.
Well, it's both of them. They're all there. Like
they're all. I guess they're all there
they're all on that plane, right? Or Frankenstein's monster and Dracula's on that plane.
on the plane.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the Wolfman is already in this town. I guess
Yeah,
lives there.
He was just that guy who was a werewolf. He storms into the police station. He's like, I'm a werewolf, not a swear wolf.
Lock me up.
But is this the first time that he had transformed into werewolf? Like, why
I
would he
doubt
just now
it.
bring it up? Right?
Because
Or
he-
does
So.
does it only affect him every 100 years when this is supposed to happen?
He's probably been a werewolf.
And he just knows that this is going to happen.
Maybe
And that's
I
what
mean,
he's saying.
he's had to have turned before.
Coming. Yeah.
Just because after he's knocking all the police senseless, he looks out the window and you see the full moon. He's like, oh crap, or whatever, and he goes all nuts again.
You know that guy's Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
He looked
The
familiar, but I
Wolfman.
couldn't.
Yeah, it's him. I bet you I could throw a football over those mountains.
Right. Yeah, so the mummy's there because it's in the museum in this town. The Wolfman's already there. And now you have Dracula and Frankenstein on a plane. And he happens to fall out of this plane and land in this town where I
Yeah.
guess Van Helsing lived. for a while,
I
and that's
think-
where he hid the amulet at. Like
See,
none of
that's-
it made, and none of it all seemed
Like, why in this
Like,
town? Why in,
yeah.
another country?
it just seemed very convenient.
yeah, convenient is what I'll say. That they all happen to be there.
Yeah.
And
I
then
can
and then
kinda-
apparently the
Oh, go
gill
ahead.
man is already there too, just in this pond or lake
Oh, he's
that
been
Yeah,
swimming
Frankenstein's
around.
yeah.
casket happens to fall into.
You can kind of piece together everybody else except for the creature. Like that one just makes the least sense.
He's been swimming around for 100 years.
Because what he's just hanging around.
Yeah.
It was like the unintentional like sequel to Humanoids or whatever.
Oh, it is. He's the one that survived. He's the baby at the end.
But I'm thinking that's probably what we're missing is the reasoning why they're all in this town.
Well, I mean,
Like
you can
already,
piece
why does it
together.
take place in this town?
Well, you can piece together everything except for the creature. So here's the thing. I think there must have been a connection between Van Helsing and the German fellow that we didn't get to see or hear because it was either cut or didn't come to fruition, whatever. Because there was that book that they found was half of that whole shebang. You know, you had have the book plus the crystal, and that somehow made it into the town anyways. Oh no,
Yeah.
okay. So Van Helsing, I can't believe I'm fucking writing an explanation for this shit. Okay, I'm trying to make this work, guys. So, Van Helsing wound up in this town later on, I guess, or his descendants, what have you, and they hid the book and the amulet somewhere in this place. And they found the book. I guess Dracula has like book sensing powers, of course. Who cares?
Or the amulet
So-
draws him.
Yeah, so he somehow winds up on an airplane where they're transporting Frankenstein's monster's body, and he doesn't hijack the plane, but he hijacks the body, and he just like drops it over the town or wherever he seemingly knows where to go. So that kind of works. So that
No, see,
way
that
you
doesn't work because he doesn't fall out of the plane. That's like an accident because the pilot hears a noise and goes back there
Yeah.
and sees that Dracula's standing on the trap door that this plane has, and he opens it.
Yeah, see, well, that was his intention all along, you see. You have to read between the lines. He was about to
played him as
hijack
a
the
fool.
plane. He was about to hijack the plane anyways because he knows he needed to get off or whatever. The guy that opened the hatch just basically saved his own life. That other guy trying to make spooky noises and now just a jackass and owes him a beer. Anyways, so under that logic, we have the amulet, the book, Dracula, and Frankenstein all in the town so far. And in that town, they have an Egyptian exhibit. Boom, you got the mummy. 10 out of 10, we got it. And we got a guy that so happens to be also a vampire living in the town.
Or a
4 out of
werewolf.
5. We're on the
Yeah.
right track. And the creature is just,
Swimming around.
he's,
He wasn't even
Lucky
supposed to
guy.
be part of the gang. He's like, what's this coffin doing in my house? And then he throws it.
Yeah, he just happened to be there.
Yeah. All right, you can join us.
which makes me feel sad because he kind of went out like a chump.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was kind of a way to go.
Yeah, it was shit.
And then it
Like,
also happened.
it wasn't even cool. It was just like, I'm gonna get this kid.
You saw
Boom.
him. You saw him 3 times.
Yeah.
You saw him in the
one time-
beginning, and then like the little girl sees him, right?
No, the little,
Oh,
the
no,
little
the
boy.
little boy does. Yeah, the smallest one.
The whole
Oh,
bit
yeah.
with the dad. There's a monster in my room, and the guy opens the closet door, and the mummy's just
no,
standing
not
there.
the mummy. The gill man. You see him another time. I thought.
Oh,
Yeah.
whenever
I-
the kid drops his Twinkie into the
Yeah.
Product
the
placement.
pond. Yeah.
And then you see him when he gets killed by Horace.
Yeah. But another coincidence is that it happens to be in a town with a group of kids that know everything about monsters.
Well, I feel like every kid knew everything about monsters in the '80s, so that's fine. I can
Okay.
deal with
Okay.
it.
And then of course the main kid happens to get the book. His mom buys the book from an estate sale or a yard sale or something,
Mm.
and that's how he ends up with the book. But I don't know how Dracula knew that the kids had the book.
I think the amulet, he like sensed the amulet was there, and
And
then
the
he just happens.
amulet
Oh
told
crap!
him that the kids had the book?
Okay. Okay, this is gonna be quite an astounding theory, but hear me out. This entire movie was made around the idea that Dracula called a little girl a bitch. Okay?
Right.
Oh yeah, he did.
Now it was like, wouldn't that be funny? And Shane Black was like, yeah, give me a minute. And then he just goes to his typewriter and chucks this whole
Writes
thing
the
out.
whole thing.
He like picks that girl up with like 2 fingers.
Yeah, by her skull, just like
Yeah. I just feel like there's got to be more than 13 minutes missing from this movie.
That's what they said. 13 minutes. 13 minutes could be a whole lot for a movie.
Well, yeah, especially if your movie, including the credits, is like 85 minutes long.
Yeah.
You should have had Roger Corman get a producing credit on this.
Ding, 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 ding. There it is.
He's like, I know this is the Monster Squad with kids in it, but can you show some boobies in it? Get out of here, Corman.
Oh, god damn it. He runs away with his little script that says Titty Squad.
But how did he know that the book was there? I don't know. Maybe he just like came across it on accident. Like, oh shit, that boy has the book also.
It was like one of those things where, like, what was his name? Fred Decker. He's just like, they're on the shooting thing, and Shane Black's just sitting there. And Decker's like, huh. You know what? How does Dracula know all this stuff? And Shane Black's just like, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking throat.
You know what? Like, don't think too hard on this, okay? We're trying to make money,
And then they didn't make any money.
and he did make money.
That's so sad. And they didn't.
I know we're kidding around. This movie is awesome. don't let us talk bad about it for you, everybody. This movie is really good.
Well, yeah, another problem I had with it though was, whenever the main kid,
Sean.
Sean, is sitting on his roof watching a movie that's playing on a drive-in with binoculars,
With the
You don't need
sound.
binoculars.
but
I
he
could.
can also hear it. Like, how was he hearing the movie?
He's using binoculars.
Yeah, it has. It's good. It's good earphones.
Yeah. Like, don't look into it, man. He used binoculars.
Okay.
Maybe he's reading lips. I don't know. He's got some super hearing.
Well, because you could hear the movie.
Maybe it's not that
Well,
far. Like he could also hear. It's like you don't need the binoculars. You can see it. What was the movie he was wanting to see? It was like.
Groundhog Day 12.
Oh.
Really?
And and when they said that, I was wondering if Groundhog Day had came out yet.
It should have, right? Or no, it was Groundhog was in the early '90s, wasn't it?
I'm not sure when that one came out. I'll look
Yeah,
it
it
up
came
real
out in
quick.
93.
Okay.
I think Monster Squad gave them the idea to make Groundhog Day the movie.
Well,
I was also-
that one kind of makes sense, you know. They came out in '87. That's about when pre-production for Ghostbusters 2 was going around. So Harold Ramis and Bill Murray would have been like in cahoots at that time. So who knows?
Could have. He saw the movie and got the idea.
Yeah, so after I finished watching it and the credits were rolling, I was surprised to learn that the dad was not played by Peter Coyote.
Peter who?
Peter Coyote.
Oh my God, I know you're talking about. It's just my mind's going to blank. Oh man.
Just for some reason I remembered that being him in this movie, and it's not.
So the guy Stephen Mott.
Yeah, Stephen matched. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to say Mott because it's spelled like
Mott.
that. So,
Oh, did you know the Wolfman's face was modeled after Stan Winston?
really?
Was it?
Yeah,
That's pretty neat. I
that's
like how he
awesome.
sneaks himself in the movies.
The only movie I ever remember Stan Winston doing was what, like The Exorcist. I really can't think of anything else. I know he's no, that's Dick Smith. Never mind. I think right. Dick Smith did the special effects for The Exorcist, right?
I believe so, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about, not Stan Winston. My bad. Um, Liam Neeson's considered the role for Dracula.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder why he turned it down.
Um, was this the movie that he got paid like $100,000 and he wasn't even in it? I don't know. Like he was offered some kind of movie. I wonder if it's this or another one.
He was doing Dark Man. That's why he didn't do Dracula.
He definitely
Well, I
picked
mean,
the better role there.
yeah, I mean, Darkman. Come on, it's fun.
Oh shit! Dustin Diamond had a small role as the kid who tries to trade baseball cards with the boys, but
I,
it was later cut.
that was the 13 minutes they cut out.
Yeah.
Just
Get out of
him
here,
trying to
Dustin.
sell
Get out of
like
here,
sex
Screech.
toy. Get out of here, Screech.
Yeah. There's a poster for Zombie in the background of the clubhouse.
I feel like that's pandering at this point.
Yeah, I was looking for, there was other, like, that
Oh,
one
they
kid's
also
room. It had some, like, there was like a Punisher poster and some other stuff. I can't remember what else remember seeing in the background there of his room.
there was the Return of the Living Dead, I think. I'm pretty sure. I think. Oh yeah, they people who saw this movie said this was a ripoff from the Goonies.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before, is everybody was comparing it, like, to the Goonies, but
It's stupid. It's like one has monsters, one has real monsters.
Well, I mean, the parallels are basically just having that group of kids going on an adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why not say that you could easily say that this is a ripoff of The Explorers.
I've not seen
Sure.
that movie.
You've never seen The Explorers?
I've not.
You'll have to check that one out.
Apparently they're wanting to remake it. Somebody big's supposed to remake it.
What, Monster Squad or the Explorers?
No, the
The
Explorers.
Explorers.
Because I was gonna say they tried to remake Monster Squad in 2008. In 2010, it was announced that Michael Bay's Platinum Dunes had officially signed on to produce the film. So basically, the same production film that farted out the Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th remake after was it New Dimension Films
Yeah.
optioned it out. In 2014, it is confirmed that the remake was no longer happening. So
I heard they were wanting a sequel. I mean, the people wanting a sequel, people who were in the first film, but I don't know anything about if it's a go or if they're still pushing for it or not.
how can you do that without Horace?
Yeah, I know. Maybe the Gill man came back and got him or something.
I don't know. They'll just recast him. It'll just be like.
Well,
Added thing.
no, you could do a sequel just because this happens every 100 years, so you would just have to set this one in the future, which means all these people would have been dead anyways.
Techno Squad.
Yeah.
Or you can get the guy who played the fat kid from the Goonies. Have him play Grown Up Horse.
He's not even fat anymore.
I
He's
know.
all shaped up and everything.
Yeah, he's like a lawyer or something now.
Yeah.
But
the Monster Squad idea, I think it's one of those things that I know that it has a cult following, and I know fucking message boards across the internet will fucking explode in anger. But it's such a ripe idea to remake, just to kind of redo and give it a real fleshed out treatment in the right hands, you know?
yeah,
kind of like how the like The Fly or Invasion of the Body Snatchers or even The Blob are classic 80s horror movies, but they're also remakes of classic 50s horror. That the Monster Squad idea, I feel, could come to fruition in the right hands. It would work
Yeah.
out.
Right.
I think
And
the
I
guy
also
that
think
hobo with a shotgun should do it.
I'm always going to bring up my sequel idea because it's fucking fantastic.
I also think when they made this one, I don't think they knew what they wanted.
But when they
Um,
made this,
yeah, because it has blood and obviously death. You know what I'm saying? Not,
not a lot, but yeah.
you know, in the language. So it's kind of an adult horror movie.
Kinda.
But then you have, the kids are involved and they have like that montage where they're hanging out with Frankenstein, which seemed like a PG movie, right?
Yeah.
But then it had like some stuff in it was just goofy. Whenever Dracula realizes the Wolfman and the Mummy had failed or whatever to get the book back, he gets so mad that he goes and blows up their treehouse with dynamite. And it just seems so, like you're Dracula. You can do more than
You can kill them in their
blow up
sleep.
yeah, why are you going to blow up a clubhouse, right?
Well, that's not the only thing that happened. He blew up the clubhouse, and then the dad of Sean shows up, the policeman, and then he like straight up murders his
His
partner,
partner, which his part,
who I remember from somewhere. I think it's
yeah,
Harlem Nights. He played the boxer guy.
Oh, the
Yeah, I
Eddie
believe-
Murphy
yeah.
movie?
Yeah,
That's a great
yeah.
movie.
He played the boxer like Jack Jackson or like had some kind of like alliteration. But
yeah. And
like,
he also he had time to get out of that car. I'm sorry.
Door is locked.
But he had
But
to
he's
use that
inside.
time to tell him how good of a cop he was, because that's the only fucking thing he did.
But then at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, whenever they open the portal and Dracula's being sucked through it, and then Van Helsing comes out and grabs him, and he
Thumbs
gives
up.
the kid a thumbs up, and then the kid gives him and that seems so
I
out of
laughed
place.
so hard. I laughed
did-
so hard at that. I couldn't believe that was happening.
Yeah, it seemed like that should have been in like a parody movie. Like if they
Yeah.
were, what I'm saying, like a scary movie kind of parody. It just seems so out of place.
That's why I'm still bent on the idea that this was just a movie trying to bank on that like feel-good Spielbergish like kids movie, like the Goonies. They saw that successful. It's like, oh, we can make our own with like monsters and stuff, and they'll love it. Because it almost feels like a movie for kids, but it almost feels like a movie written by a kid. It feels like this is what a 14-year-old or whatever wrote for his like little Halloween story one year.
Yeah, that and then the another thing that kind of bugged me too was Frankenstein's saying bogus.
Bogus.
That seems like the whole part with the Frankenstein and the kids. It seemed like a Nickelodeon movie to me.
Yeah.
But then again, you've got the swearing, the blood, and all that, and then you've got the goofiness.
It's like you
Had
got
everything.
the Wolfman literally getting blown to bits after being thrown out of a window,
Yeah.
and then 7 minutes later, Dracula calls a little girl a bitch.
Yeah.
And then Wolfman gets kicked in the balls.
Right.
And
I mean,
Nards.
but I don't know. I don't know if that was that for some reason that fit. That whole part fit.
Well, I thought it was funny. Like towards the end, it was like when what's his name? Was it Sister? I think is reading that book. He's like, "What? You're not a virgin?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, Steve, but he doesn't, count.
Right.
Count."
Yeah, that kid there was probably as far as the acting, he was probably my favorite, and I don't think he's done much since then.
That was the best friend, right?
Yeah, Patrick. Like he doesn't even have a picture on IMDb.
He kind of, you know, who I thought he was the kid from The Sandlot.
I've
He kind
never
of
seen
reminded me
that.
of. Oh well, that kid grew up to be like a New Jersey asshole, like
Mm.
very tan and buff. Yo, I'm a dick. But I thought it was the kid from The Sandlot for the longest time, but it's not.
I think the only kid that I recognized or put two and two together, um, the kid that was giving Horace a hard time at a school.
Oh, the
or
Wonder
whatever.
Years.
Yeah, from the
Yeah,
Wonder
it made
Years.
him. He made him eat the little Snickers. That's Milton. What's her name? Uh, Baines. Milton Baines. Marty McFly's uncle from Back to the Future. He's the kid with the
Oh,
little Davy Crockett hat when they're watching TV when
Yeah.
oh
Bart goes to his
yeah.
mom's
That's
house.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's like
yeah,
a rerun. This is brand new.
yeah. What's a rerun? Yeah, it's that kid. That's such a stretch. It's him.
He was in everything back in the day. He's in a lot of stuff.
Like,
Well, what was like your favorite kill of the movie?
when they blew up that policeman and nobody gave a shit. The guy who didn't even fucking flinch. He just looked at this burning carcass and car and just like, huh, don't kill my kid.
Right.
Don't kill my kid. And the mother, what else? She's familiar. Was she in like Seventh Heaven or something?
She looks
I
like
don't.
one of those moms,
Miller.
the '80s moms.
I
that
don't
just plays
think she was
everywhere.
on that show. I've never watched it. She was on.
Oh, she was in Little Giants. She played the mother in Little Giants.
She was also in the Goonies.
Oh shit, was she?
Yep, and she was. Oh, here's the thing. So she was in Lethal Weapon. She was the shrink, like
Oh,
the police psychiatrist, I guess. And across the street from the main character's house, the house across the street is Murtaugh's house from Lethal Weapon. So Lethal Weapon takes place in the Monster Squad universe.
I had it. I mean, I try to. That actually struck me, like where they shot this stuff, because when they got to the church area, like the big old center of town, I guess it looked a lot like Universal Square from the Universal backlot.
Right,
But I didn't see the clock tower anywhere, or if it was like matte painted out or anything.
right.
But it had the same like geometry and stuff, like the like little square roads and whatnot.
you know
So
what?
I think they should do a Monster Squad Lethal Weapon crossover.
I'm too old for this
Lethal
shit. He's
Squad,
killing vampires.
monster weapon.
Because I mean, the mom she could easily go and be because her husband's a cop,
Oh, she's dead.
becomes a shrink, and then starts working for, the police department where Riggs and Murtaugh and Chris Rock now work.
That woman that played her, she dead.
Is she dead?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why do you
I
got to
see, it
keep
could
bringing
still
us down, man?
Sorry.
You were just bringing this
Hey.
whole episode down.
You know what part made me laugh? Is remember that little kid from the game? He like wrote the army a letter telling like the monsters are coming, and
Oh,
the
they
army
fucking
just
showed
pulls
up.
They
up.
show up at the end, yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy named what was the kid's name? You remember? He's like, yeah, we got a letter.
Yeah,
don't
what in
remember
the
what
Sam Hill's going on
Yeah.
around here?
We got a letter from Eugene.
Yeah, Eugene.
The
here's-
monsters are coming.
Yeah, so here's my thing. The army gets a thing written in crayon that says, monsters, and they go.
They're bored. They're like, oh my god, we got nothing to do.
Yeah, somebody start a war or something. This is great.
And the scary German guy, we haven't mentioned really much about him.
That's his name. They didn't even give him a name. He's just scary German guy.
Is that what he's listed as in the?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Scary
Leonardo
German guy.
Camino as scary German guy.
Scary German guy.
That's ridiculous.
Well, what's crazy is like they asked him like, hey, you know a lot about monsters. He's like, yeah, I guess I do. And you see that he,
He's
I guess, was in a concentration camp.
he's got and I'm like, oh, that's kind of
That's crazy.
That's kind of misplaced. That's what that is, because they could have used him as like a Van Helsing descendant or some shit like that, and that would have made more sense.
right.
No,
we're
guess
we're
what?
going to say
Holocaust.
this is was it Decker, Black and Decker's
Mhm.
first movie that they wrote
Right.
or ever did.
Well, here's another interesting fact about this scary German guy, Leonardo Samino.
Oh,
He
Savino.
died. He died March 3rd,
God
2012.
damn it.
Well, he was already old in Monster Squad. Was he 100?
He died at the ripe
94.
age of 94.
Wow. He looked 94 back in Monster Squad.
Oh no, this guy was actually a really he had a really
Talented actor.
yeah, he was talented. He has a very bulky like filmography and stage chronology and stuff. And I'd be damned if like the little summation at the top was like, oh yeah, and he was in the 1987 feature film Monster Squad as scary German guy.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god. Yeah, he's Dune. It's like Dune. He's known for Dune, Monster Squad, Waterworld, and Hudson Hawk.
So he never got a break.
Yeah, I never had a break. I'm sure he probably did stage, maybe. You get paid to do it? I don't think you get paid that much doing stage play, do you?
It depends if it's reoccurring or not.
Oh. Did a lot of TV movies.
Yeah, a lot of television. But I don't want to say he was like respected. He probably, he probably didn't win any awards or anything. But this guy was definitely a working actor, and damn, he didn't even have
He'll
a
forever
name.
be known. He'll
They
forever
could
be
have called him
known.
Hans or something, anything.
Yeah.
Called him Stroopwafel. I don't care. He just can't just be scary German guy.
Scary. Well, it's better than like what was Jeff Goldblum in Death Wish.
Oh, Crazy Person 3 or something like that. Crazy Man. That's off the top of my head, something like that. But that was
Yeah.
that was his first major film role, raping.
Yeah.
Kind of like Lawrence Fishburne in Death Wish 2.
Oh crap. He was in Death Wish too.
Yeah, he was the punk with the boombox.
But Monster Squad, like how the mummy died in the Monster Squad. They shot
Yeah,
that
that's-
arrow.
Yeah, they
He-
tied his bandages to the arrow, shot it into a tree, and then it just.
You just see his skull was left.
Yeah,
You're like,
he's hanging off the back of the car.
One more reason why this movie was written by a 12-year-old.
yeah, it's like, where's the rest of his body? He just shows his skull. Like, where's the rest of the bones? Was he just like the bone was only his head? The rest
They
was
turned
just
to dust.
everything was just dust.
Yeah, like they showed like the leg disappearing up into like the calf, and then suddenly he's just like the top of a skull.
That's it.
So
And his
that's where the
eyes
13 minutes went.
disappeared. And his eyes disappeared.
You know. As soon as you lose enough body mass, your eyes just disappear.
Disappear.
It's science, really. It's
It is.
textbook stuff.
I'm pretty sure that they do want to make a sequel because I remember the original guy was named Sean played what's the actor's name? And was it Andre Gower or whatever?
Mhm.
I know he's been pushing for a sequel.
Well, what the hell else has he done? Of course he is.
I don't know what else he's done. Well, he did do the Wolfman's Got Nards documentary.
Yeah, see that.
And I thought back in the day, Rudy just looked like a badass. The biker dude with or not biker
yeah.
dude.
The bicycle.
Yeah, he was the cool dude.
He had the leather jacket and then the brown loafers.
Yeah.
Slicked back hair, shades. It seems like the only classes that he had in middle school or junior high were just shop classes.
Yeah.
The shop class where you can make bullets.
Yeah, no kidding. They're just totally cool with it.
He was the
Oh,
one
look,
that
see,
really.
The teacher's not looking. Got to make some vampire steaks.
He was really the one who killed the most of the monsters out of all the monsters.
Yeah, because he killed the
Yeah,
three.
Where did they come from? There's another one. Where did those little vampiresses come from? They just start floating down the freaking street.
Well, no, they
Oh,
showed that earlier because
yeah. He
Dracula
kidnapped.
says, "I need to go feed," and he opens up a closet in that house, and there's like 3 girls in there,
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
and I guess he
Can't
turns
just
them into
can't just do that.
Yeah, he's one that kills the mummy. He also
killed the 3
the 3 vampire
and
girls.
the Wolfman.
No, did he
Yeah.
kill the Wolfman or did the father kill the Wolfman?
He did because he shot it because he picked up the cop's gun, loaded up his one.
Oh, yeah, okay. So the only
He
person
made
that
he
was
made
not killed by him was Horace killed the Gill Man.
the Gill Man, yeah,
Yeah, but he gets cool points because of shotgun.
Yeah.
right.
And I'm surprised that shotgun didn't like blow him back.
For a second, I thought he was just gonna like blow away the bully. He's just like,
Make me eat a Snickers. I'm gonna make you eat the floor.
Yeah, see, I think this movie would have worked better if they didn't have that opening where we see Van Helsing doing exactly what they're going to do at the end of this movie. And we don't see any of the monsters showing up. You know what I'm saying? We don't see that Dracula flies in on a World War II bomber plane.
hmm I feel like
Like if
For
we
the
hadn't, if
movie-
we didn't see all that,
Okay.
if the only thing we know is these kids are fans of monsters, the monster movies, and all this. This kid, this kid's mom gets him the book, right?
Yeah.
And that, oh, 3 girls are, come up missing, right?
Yeah.
But we don't know that Dracula took them. And maybe they find some other people that are, killed by like the Wolfman. But we don't see the wolf. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know any of this stuff.
maybe
And then it's
Maybe
kind of
they'd be-
slow. And then they, then of course they get with a German guy who does the translation on the book, and then that's when they start figuring everything out.
I think I got it. Not to interject, but I think you'd have to like simplify it further, just kind of like condense it. This could all work, given like you could put it all in one place to begin with. Like it could be everything came from the museum, like that. Like they had like a traveling exhibit of like all the monsters and stuff. Kids really dig monsters, and they like maybe sneak into the place at night and steal the book. Then they accidentally release all this stuff, so they have to find like the crazy German guy because it's in German to get it like everything put back into place, that kind of thing. So that way you wouldn't
Right.
even have to worry about these nonsensical, all in the same place trajectories that make you wouldn't have like the creature of the Black Lagoon just being there because you didn't know how to put him there.
Right.
Just hanging out.
So that way you have all that in the beginning of your movie. That's all the first act, first 20-25 minutes. It's all set up, and it makes hell of a lot more sense
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, because I feel like they were trying to simplify it. Almost like they were making it for like they thought, well, we'll make this movie for kids, but we really got to make it stupid or dumb it down for them.
I don't
And
even
make
think
sure-
it's that. They just
Make
had
sure
an
they know
idea.
what's happening.
They make sure a lot of things because when you watch this movie, you're never really bored. There's kind of always something going on. So maybe they're like, we'll have this, not so boring. So maybe they can overlook all these holes.
Yeah, I think it's that wasn't even the thought process. Like, let's dumb it down to like, well, it's for kids. They like monsters. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That was just
We'll-
it was
we'll
like,
have
this
some
doesn't make
adult
sense. Yeah,
jokes
it's a kids movie,
here.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll have some adult jokes here, kind of. We'll throw a little, girl in a
because, like,
brawl here.
Yeah, because it's a movie that like, oh, kids will go see, but kids can't go see a movie by themselves. Let's throw the parents a bone.
So that's a little bit for everybody, kind of.
Yeah, we'll throw some wolf nards in there. It'll be okay.
People
Works
laugh.
out. Yeah.
You imagine, like, at the premiere, Roger Corman's like, man, this movie would have been so much better if I put boobies in it.
He just walks out of the theater crying.
Yeah.
Not a
No,
single booby.
no, it was the 13 minutes they cut was the 13 minutes that Roger Corman had. like
Just
supervision over.
straight
Yeah,
up hardcore nudity.
yeah, it's
Like
all
the stuff
was.
that was like shoehorned in the humanoids and stuff.
Yeah, they were like, this totally doesn't go with the movie. We're gonna have to cut this. Well, don't put me as a producer then. I'm out.
All right, so we mentioned that like the Gilman's probably the best looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they all
There's
look pretty good, but yeah, the Gill Man was probably the best one.
Yeah,
But are you
I just want to say Creature, just because not only did it look great on film, it was very faithful to the original Creature from the Black Lagoon suit. It wasn't
Yeah.
like an exact replica, but it looked very, very good.
right? So what did you think of the Dracula
Oh,
look?
that's stupid.
I mean, he wasn't anything special. I mean, he looked fine.
He looked like it looks like I can buy that outfit at Walmart during Halloween.
Right.
That's what he
I
looked
mean,
like.
I mean, I know it's based off of the Universal, but I
Yeah.
just think that it looks better in black and white than it
Yeah,
does.
the old Bela Lugosi thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly
sure.
really like the werewolf transformation when he's in that
Phone booth.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna kill your kid or something. Is that what he says? Yeah, I'm gonna
And that was
kill your
another.
kid.
Yeah, come
starts
down to
foaming.
666 Demon Street or whatever. It's like, what the fuck? Is this a crank call? I'm gonna kill your kid!
You'll have to go back and watch that scene because when he's saying that, he reminded me of the Arby's guy.
Oh, it's like you're not yourself when you're hungry. No, that's Snickers. Never mind.
No, no, the YouTube. Billy, you know what I'm talking about, right? The Arby's guy.
The real I know what you're talking about. That guy had it's been forever for that guy to be in those Arby's commercials, hasn't he? It's been like years, right?
No, I'm talking about the weird Arby's guy from YouTube.
Oh, that dude has a lot of videos, right?
Yeah,
So I don't know.
that guy.
The weird
The
game.
Wolfman's his delivery
Yeah.
in that phone booth. It sounded like the weird Arby's guy.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what it reminded me of.
I'm gonna drink my tiny wines. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, have you not seen that, Eric? He's been
No.
a bunch of videos, like the weird gamer dude, where he's like in Comic Con, and his girl interviews him. He's all weird, or he does got a bunch of videos.
Yeah, you just have to look him up and then
Yeah,
go
Feel
back
like-
and watch that scene.
Will do.
it's pretty funny.
Yeah, but the only other note that I had that was weird was how does Dracula know how to drive a car?
It's a Cadillac. It drives itself.
Yeah, why doesn't he just fly?
It's
Okay.
a Cadillac. It drives itself.
Well, you bring up another point though, also, because he transforms into a bat. Where does his clothes go when he's the bat? And how do they-
Well, they
how do
actually
they
they showed him like mid-transformation when he was stuck in that Adidas factory or whatever the fuck they stumbled into, and he had like didn't he have his cape on, but he's just all fucking weird.
Yeah, and then he
So
came and
maybe
he
it
had
should-
clothes on.
Yeah, maybe it just comes with the whole package. Like if you get bitten and you turn, you're just stuck with the clothes you had on that night. So
Maybe like before everything happened, he knew like he just like put change of clothes in everywhere. You know, I might come here, something might happen here, something might happen here. Put clothes
Wait, I
here,
can't.
clothes
Wait, I
here.
can't transform here. I don't have clothes.
Yeah, I can't fly out of here. Did he have a coffin in the back of his car he was driving? Wasn't there a coffin in the back?
I don't think so.
there was something there, but he had like no regard for this cool car, right?
That's where he
So,
kept
like,
his
has it-
dynamite.
Oh.
Yeah, he just tears the back of the fucking door off. It's just like, "Buh." Once more
But-
reinforcing the point that this was written by an elementary school student.
Despite all the shit talking we're talking about it, this is a fun movie, everybody. Please watch it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they shouldn't watch it.
I mean, it's funny to make fun of the stuff, but I mean, it's a fun movie.
It is a fun movie. It has. I mean, there's obviously some problems with it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really take away from the enjoyment of watching it.
It's
I don't
yeah. I
know.
mean, the movie's campy as hell. That's what's got for it. It's gonna be it's like a popcorn entertainment movie. It's almost like a time capsule.
Yeah.
It's definitely an '80s movie. It's definitely not perfect, but it's watchable. It's completely watchable. It's not gonna make you mad. It's not gonna you're not gonna have to stand on your feet and shake your fist. Ah, fuck you, Roger Corman. It's gonna be awesome. It's just gonna be a good time.
It's a good time to waste like 14 minutes, an
Right.
hour and like 18 minutes or whatever it was. I do have the movie on Blu-ray. I'm surprised they haven't released it on Shout Factory or something like that, or Scream
Mm.
Factory or whatever.
Well, the copy I had was done by the little logo looked like a bee. Maybe it was like an older DVD release.
Was it Blue Underground?
No, it was something completely different. Might have to look it up here.
Mine.
It wasn't special edition or anything. I thought it was bootleg at first, because when I put it on, the menu just had like a really shitty quality picture and just like play and menu. But I was already at the menu, so I didn't know why the menu button was there.
Mine was bought for me when I was in Michigan. Detroit, Michigan.
Dun 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 dun.
For I got it for $6 or something like that.
That's pretty good.
I'm pretty sure it was Blu-ray. I still have it, I'm pretty sure. Overall, it's a fun movie. It has its flaws, but what movie doesn't? What horror movie, campy horror movie from the 80s doesn't? Or I kind of is kind of a more of a comedy horror than horror comedy.
It's a fine movie. Like I said, it's not gonna make you mad. It's not a movie. Just don't look into it. Turn
Yeah.
your brain off and just enjoy it.
Relax.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
such a.
definitely don't
Go ahead.
try to figure it out.
Yeah, do not apply logic to this movie.
We're all gonna write Shane Black and Frank Decker what the fuck, dude?
They're gonna turn that letter into another movie.
Yeah, explain
mean,
this.
It definitely feels like either the writing and or the production was rushed.
Yeah, they probably seem like they were getting a lot of shit from their producers.
Maybe.
That usually always happens.
So the movie is technically 85 minutes. It actually took them 90 minutes to make this movie. So I can
Right.
see this.
Because there was stuff. There was stuff they could have left out. There was almost a backstory of the parents, I guess, getting a divorce or not getting
True.
along. They could have
That
left
was
that out. That
the
had
world
nothing.
building.
Yeah, that had
Anywhere.
nothing to do.
There were okay, yeah, okay. Here you're absolutely right. There was a lot of I guess world building and a lot of little drops and hints for later that never added up to anything. Like the parents, they were fighting for divorce because it's a cop, or he's a cop who's always going to work, neglecting his family. But when at the end he kind of helps save the day, you don't really see that satisfaction of her going oh, whatever your name is, I'm so sorry. Thanks for saving everybody. That
What
whole
they don't know,
little bit
after
of
the
arc.
credits roll, they do get a divorce the next day.
Or Horace just has enough and blows everybody away.
Yeah.
And also, when he sends Frankenstein to get the booklet or whatever, he's supposed to kill the kids, but that never really went anywhere at all.
Right.
He didn't even flinch. He just hey kids, I'm your friend now. LOL.
Hey, look at me. I'm part of the gang.
Italian Frankenstein. Hey, look at me.
Part of the gang.
Yeah, I just think there definitely could have been. It could be better, but for what it is right now, and I'll go ahead and say it. I've said it before, but a lot of it is nostalgia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
always.
that's true.
If I had never seen it as a kid and had just watched it for the first time the other day, I probably wouldn't have
like
recommend.
as much.
I wouldn't have recommended it to anybody.
Well, I mean, maybe it was the first time I've seen it complete, and who knows how long. Because I do remember some bits, but it was my first time viewing it. Or wait, no, it'd be 2 days ago now, and I would still recommend it just because it's like one of those movies that it doesn't overstay its welcome. Turn your brain off. It's silly. It's like if like you and your girlfriend sitting down and want to waste a couple, what is it, like 80 minutes? I'll say 70 without the credits. It's like a short flick. It doesn't
And
hurt
the
anybody's
Gill Man
feelings.
looks good.
Yeah.
Some nice effects.
Yeah, but like like I said, when I was a kid, I watched it 1,000 times.
I think you were like the appropriate audience, like exactly what they were shooting for.
Right. And then, of course, after I watched it, me and the local kid, like my friends back, we actually would have started a Monster Squad club. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It'd be like after the movie came out, if it were popular, they'd have like a national Monster Squad thing, like the Kiss Army.
Right. Watching it again, the only thing that was memorable, the only thing I really remembered was the Wolfman's got nards. The Gill Man being my favorite looking monster from it. And that's it. Everything else I forgot.
Mine's those two. Also, Horse killing the Gill Man, and then Van Helsing giving the thumbs up to Sean.
I completely forgot about the they call me Horace line. Forgot about the Van Helsing thing at the end. Just forgot about all of it.
I'm trying to screen cap that little bit with the Van Helsing with the thumbs up. It's gonna be my new phone background.
Okay.
So stupid.
It's pretty funny.
I think it was that plus the Sean's face when he gives him the thumbs up back.
Yeah, he's like, we can't see me, but I'm doing it right now.
Like it would have made more sense if that Van Helsing part was played by Leslie Nielsen, and then
That'd
it would
be
have
good.
fit perfectly together.
Right.
Shout out to Dracula Dead and Loving It. Horribly underrated movie.
Yes.
Leslie Nielsen, rest in peace.
That
Oh,
is
that's
very
right,
true.
because he's dead, like everyone else in this movie.
God.
Yeah.
He's not even in the movie and still died.
But yeah, it's worth a watch if you've never seen it. If you haven't seen
I
it,
mean, if you like Stranger Things, you'll probably maybe like Monster Squad.
If you like Stranger Things without any of the writing,
With any of like it's Stranger Things, but with plot holes.
it's like Stranger Things light.
but I can't even compare it to Stranger Things because there wasn't a lot of 80s reference.
Wait, in Monster
Like
Squad?
said, yeah, like,
Well, I mean, it was in the 80s, so
well, I know, but I mean, like,
They show a lot of the iconic '80s things that was going on, like old Pepsi can. I know they had that.
yeah.
but I mean,
that.
like in Stranger Things for Halloween, they dress up as the Ghostbusters and they're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Where this movie doesn't blatantly give you like 80s references,
Except for
other than the clothes they're wearing.
and the posters.
Yeah, and some of the posters in the background, but
I don't know. Ronald Reagan.
there you go.
Yeah, that's all I can think about the movie, man.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, if you've never seen it, watch it. If you haven't seen it since it first came out, watch it again. But
Yeah, it's fine.
don't try to overanalyze it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fine movie. Yeah, don't think about it, please. You'll almost have an aneurysm like I did.
But
Um,
I got I
I
got like
definitely think I definitely
good.
think it's
Good.
worth a remake.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like the idea is good enough to be retold, like in a different lighting.
as
Yeah,
long as Michael Bay's not producing it.
right.
Like we were sitting here, we've been talking for an hour, and we thought up of better stuff. Like that
Exactly.
whole museum thing, just to get everything in one area, is way better than just throwing them all in one place with little to no explanation.
Yeah.
To the point where one major monster character just appears.
See, here's what they need to do. They need to just forget the Tom Cruise Mummy movie,
I think they already have, so good on
and
them.
then I know, but they were trying to do that Universal
Yeah, the Dark Universe,
the Dark
because
Universe thing
Marvel's
because of
whooping
Marvel.
everybody's ass.
They really need to quit making all these fucking like Universal monsters like fucking action. They're not action. They're supposed to be like horror or like horror and thriller, not fucking action movies. Like fuck
Well,
off.
Yeah, so
that's like
they
a
need to forget that happens and then make remake the Monster Squad with what I'm saying, and just use the obviously use the Universal monsters, but do it right.
Yeah.
well, that whole action horror thing is like a whole separate argument. Just because horror, even though it's a legitimate movie genre, it's a niche market, so they're not going to spend $100 million on a movie that you know half the people are going to see it. You know, compared to like an action movie with Tom Cruise in it.
Correct.
It's so
So
stupid. Speaking of action horror, I want to see Overlord.
How was it?
I mean, I want to. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you
no,
want to?
Yeah.
that's not the question he asked, Bill. How was
Now,
it?
how was it? I'm gonna say it's fantastic.
Nice.
No, but it looks really good.
It does look good. I'm pretty excited for it.
The teaser got my ears perked up with that dude with his jaw all busted up and whatnot.
Yeah. I'm hearing it's like practical effects. I'm like, man, I'm glad they're using a lot of practical effects and like less CGI.
I think it's finally come full circle with digital versus practical effects, just monetarily wise, because it used to be that digital effects were relatively cheaper
Yeah.
because you didn't have to pay anybody to do the actual work, or the effects studios wherever they worked for, much less overhead just to do it on a computer. But now everything has gotten to the point where nearly everything is done computer generated. It's not a word, but
Yeah,
that
like they do practical, but they enhance it with uh, uh, CGI and stuff.
well, I mean, it's not even that. I mean, business is so wanted for the computer generated stuff that people are charging out the wazoo just to get a small thing done, and people are realizing, well, we can just do this in real life and not have to worry about that overhead anymore.
Yeah,
So it's like full circle again.
I'm glad. It's where it's always should be. Like fuck CGI. I
Yeah.
know you need
Or you could,
CGI to like touch up some effects,
that's
like
fine.
make sure like the
I
string's
mean,
not
there's
on
always going to be
something.
room for it because they're all tools.
Yeah,
You shouldn't rely all on one thing to get something done.
yeah. But yeah,
Kind of like there are still directors who will do as much as possible on camera, like your Christopher Nolans, even your Ridley Scotts. You know,
yeah. I mean, I didn't mind A Quiet Place. I didn't mind the monster in that. I know that was, I think, entirely CGI. I
I
mean,
haven't
that
seen that
looked
yet.
pretty good, but like that's the only like CGI monster I thought, hey, that looks really fucking good. But I really can't think of anything else that's like CGI that like looked really fucking good. It might have been okay or something, but
Well, it's 2018 and Jurassic Park still looks good. So
yeah. But I heard the last one they used more practical effects than they did in the
fucking man,
first
that
one,
movie
or the
sucks.
I never saw Fallen Kingdom.
It's bad, like legitimately bad.
That sucks.
Pacing's terrible. The characters are just really annoying. A lot of nonsensical, just bullshit and contradictions, and
Yeah.
you really have to suspend your disbelief to just even get by. I like in the theater, I was just like, what the fuck?
Have you ever walked out of a movie theater?
Um, Twice. Once because the movie was bad, and another time just because I needed a ride home. So,
What movies were those? remember?
the one that I needed a ride home, it's not the movie's fault. It was the X-Files 2. I went to believe or something.
Uh,
I just went because I watched everything else at the time. It was the last movie that I hadn't seen at Park Place.
so it was one of those movies like, yeah, I could see it. I don't have to.
Yeah, I was just like, oh man, if I don't go home now, I'm not gonna get home at all. So I just like
Yeah.
left and got my money back. The one that actually walked out on was Love Guru with Mike Myers. I fucking hated it. I was like, this is literal garbage. Like the stench was peeling off the screen.
I walked out of so far. I think I walked out of one movie, and it was a Street Fighter movie. It wasn't the one. It was the one that had like one of the guys from the Black Eyed Peas was one of the characters, and I was like,
Oh, it was
"What the
Street
fuck
Fighter,
yeah,
the
like
sequel
2000,
or whatever.
it was like 2007 or something like that." As soon as I was like, "This is," I was like, "Why did I?" Midway through it, I was like, "Why did I even agree to this? I didn't even know this was playing." I was like,
Why
"This
did I
is
agree to this? And you're the only person in the theater.
yeah." I had a bunch of people. I had a couple of people with me. I was like, I want to leave. I was like, that guy from the Black Eyed Peas is the guy from is on Street Fighter. Like this movie's just terrible either way. We're out. I'm out of here. Like, yeah, let's get out of here. They wouldn't.
Man, can't wait to
Yeah.
boot up the old Street Fighter game and pick Will I Am.
I've never
But
walked I've never walked out of a theater during a movie.
There was one movie we didn't walk out on, but like it was one of the movies that was so bad. Like we were all like everybody in the theater was making fun of it, and we were all just laughing. It was that movie that had that horror movie that had Frankie Muniz in it.
All about the video game.
Maybe. I think so. We were all just like everybody was. We're like, we were kind of doing like a mystery theater, science theater. Like we're all just everybody like random people. We're all just making fun of the whole movie. It was pretty funny.
I think it was.
I've
I think it was
been
the one
really
about the
close to
video
walking out
games.
before. What is it?
It was
I
Game
think
Over,
it was-
wasn't it, or something? Or
I don't remember what it was
Game
called. I just remember it was a.
Is it
like I honestly don't know why I went and saw that movie either. I think I got dragged by the same person who took me to go see the Street Fighter movie.
May they rest in peace because they
Yeah.
passed away as well.
Yeah, because I fucking killed them. You're never taking me to another bad movie again.
The name's Horowitz.
Yeah. The name's Billy. I really can't think of any movies coming out. Well, I know Suspiria is. I don't think it's playing here.
I don't think it is either. I know it's already opened up like limited, but I don't know when it's going.
It'll be on Amazon.
Yeah, because it's an Amazon movie, so.
They probably
Somebody's
just started it out now, so it'd be like an Oscar contender or something.
Somebody already told me that they thought it was better than the Halloween. They said it was really good.
Still haven't seen Halloween.
I still haven't seen it. I still haven't seen Halloween either. But like I said last time, I'm more
You
excited for
need to go see it.
Suspiria. I'm more
You guys
excited
need
for
to see it.
Suspiria than I am Halloween.
Well, if you
Because
wanna check it out,
I know you got the
I'll
weekends off. I know you got the weekends off, and Eric, you probably get off early on weekends sometimes.
I get off as much as I can.
All right. So you guys could go see Halloween, and then we could do an episode about it, and then we can all maybe try to find a showing for Suspiria, and we all can go see it.
Right.
My money's gonna probably be at Nitro.
Yeah, I saw the Green Room, and I saw the Raid 2, or I saw the Raid 2.
I'm still jealous
there.
that you saw Raid 2 in theaters because,
Yeah.
like, man, okay, so listen, like, back when we used to, like, hang at your place and just watch movies all the time,
Yeah.
there were some fucking life-changing moments at that time, and the Raid was one of them. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
It blew me away with how fucking violent that movie is. And okay, this is off topic, of course, but the Raid 2 is such a natural step up in every goddamn way.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You can't say the Raid
Production-wise,
2
everything.
I mean, everything is better than the first, but it can't exist without the first movie. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It's like watching just Godfather 2. It's whatever. It's, you know. You
I
got
like Godfather
That's
2,
how
yeah.
good it is.
There's not gonna be a third one.
That's a fucking shame. That
The
dude's
guy already said he's like it's. He said when it first came out, when the second one first came out, he had an idea, but it's long and gone. It's not coming. It's not coming.
Boo. Boo to that guy.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to let Carrie borrow the Raid movies. 'Cause I got both of them.
Yeah, I got it on Blu-ray.
Well,
I
I've
did
seen the first. I've seen the first one, I think, because the one I watched was called The Raid Redemption.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
first
that's the
one.
first one.
Okay,
It just depends on where it was
that
released,
just.
I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say that just sounded like a sequel to me. But
Yeah, it was called The Raid, and then like, oh, we're gonna release it in America. Let's put Redemption underneath it.
Kind of like how Leon was, well, Leon, but then over here it's called Leon the Professional.
right.
Yeah.
Bunch of nonsense.
There's probably really not going to be a lot of horror movies coming out. Maybe like in the indies, but like going to
Oh,
theaters.
no, February, man. Fuck you, it's February. That's the time when all the shit horror movies fired out that they
Yeah.
couldn't squeeze into the last year.
Oh,
Yeah, we're gonna have a ton coming up. It's gonna be no problem.
I'm talking about good
Maybe-
ones. I'm not
maybe
talking
we-
about the bad ones.
Maybe we can team up with Red Letter Media and do like a bonus episode.
Oh, I'm
That'd
glad
be
you
pretty
understood that reference.
Yeah.
Fuck you, it's January. Oh my god.
I mean, the only other horror movie I think is coming out besides Overlord is Happy Death Day to You, which I never saw the first one. I've heard they're okay. That one's okay. Has a good, like I said, it has a good premise, but I don't know of how good it is. But that's one thing I think of. That Suspiria,
When does Overlord come out? feel like
this
it's-
month. I think it's. Is it out now? Is it Friday or is it next Friday?
I'm gonna say it came out this weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it did.
November
Yeah, it
9th.
did come out this weekend. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because
it
I
was
read
past
something
Friday.
about it that it only made $9 million.
So. Well, I
This
mean,
weekend.
it's just the first weekend though. So.
And is that limited? Was that like a limited
No,
release
no,
or?
it's-
No, it's in
Worldwide
Park Place
release.
and Marquee right now. I can see the showings.
But I said it only made $9 million. But usually movies like that it's supposed to make at least like you'd think about $30-40 million.
Well, that's what they made it for $38 million.
I don't get movies like that. Like Bad Times looks like it was going to be pretty good. I don't know if it is,
Mm.
but that
Yeah,
didn't
in
really make
24
that much
hours, it
money.
made $3.8 million.
It's marketing, man. Like you didn't see a lot of advertising for that movie.
I've actually seen quite a bit. It's the same teaser every time though, with that guy smiling and his face all blowed off.
Their posters are pretty cool looking. They got like a grindhouse type looking poster, and that's pretty sweet.
I see the white one with the drops, the blood drops.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch much TV,
Oh, I don't either.
but normally I'll see like trailers on like YouTube videos or just ads on like Facebook or whatever.
yeah.
But I haven't seen a lot about that movie.
What the fuck? I went to images under Overlord and just like went straight to titty. Like what the fuck?
Roger Corman knows.
God damn it! It has nothing to do with anything. It's like some anime or some shit. I guess with the same name.
Weird.
Whatever.
But yeah, that's all I
Well,
think of.
let me ask you, do you guys like t-shirts?
I'm actually wearing one right now. I'm such an
It's-
aficionado.
You know what? That's so crazy that you're saying that because I'm wearing one.
I am also wearing a t-shirt.
Wow, isn't it crazy?
What are the
how
odds?
3 out of 3 people are wearing
I
the
know.
same type of clothing. But hey, if we wanted another one, where could we get one?
Teespring.com/stores/a podcast from beneath.
That sounds fantastic, actually.
So if you want to look sexy for your significant other or maybe your animal, please buy a shirt.
Yes,
And
they're
if you're
only
just
they're only
generally tired of
$21.99.
being ugly, by all means, cover it up.
Yes.
By wearing a shirt from a podcast from beneath. People are like, hey, what's a podcast from beneath? And then you can say, it's this awesome podcast. Here's the
It's
link.
You can say
Yeah,
it's the #1 horror movie podcast
Yes, number
on the
one
internet.
on the internet.
all of the internet.
All
And
but
if they say, "What's the internet?" just walk away.
Well, if you're genuine and they ask, oh, what is the podcast from beneath? All you have to say, it's much better than what's beneath this T-shirt, and they'll be like, wow, that's fantastic.
and
And
then,
if you
hey,
don't,
do you
but
like
if you don't want,
coffee? Yeah,
you
I
can
love
also get
coffee.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can get a mug.
Yeah.
You can get a mug while you're trying to cover your ugly mug. It just all works out.
And if you don't drink coffee, and you don't wear T-shirts, but you do have money to spend, just go to patreon.com/podcast from beneath.
Sounds
Give
like
us
a
some-
grand plan to me.
Give
In
us some
fact,
money.
if you want, do the whole grand slam, buy a T-shirt, buy a mug for your mother, and donate on patreon.com.
There you go. We
And
have
you'll-
bonus. There's bonus clips on here you can listen to, and you can also get on our Discord server.
Oh yeah. Well, we're on Discord now. If or when we get that completely set up, that'll be a great way for you guys, the audience, to not only tune in with us but also chat while we're chatting. We can interact with you guys when we get that completely fixed and everything. It'll be a great way to just to interact with
Yes.
everyone.
And then also have the website is now updated with all new cover art for the episodes. And of course I'll have all the links
Sounds good.
on Facebook and everything to get to all this stuff. So
Sounds
Moving
like it's,
on up. Moving on
master
up.
plan.
Yeah, we're going to have to see a movie that we all agree on to see. Hopefully, our schedules can work around it, so we all can do like a review as soon as we see the movie.
Yeah,
Right.
unfortunately, we all work retail basically, and
yeah.
Black
Yeah.
Friday is just around the corner. So if there's
Just-
one less of us, next time we probably
Yeah.
blew our brains out.
Yeah, the next like after Black Friday, like we lost some. We lost.
In memoriam.
Yeah.
First it was Horace.
Then it was the old
Oh.
scary German guy. Then it was the mother from Monster Squad, whatever her name was.
Then it
And
was
that was-
Leslie Nielsen.
Then it was Leslie Nielsen, and then it was one of our own.
Yeah, so hopefully we can start making enough money from this where we can just quit our day jobs.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
That's living the dream right there.
That'd be sweet.
It would be sweet.
Maybe if we like mention people, they'll finally sponsor us. Hey, it's a podcast from Beneath by Gino's Pizza and Paschetti.
Yeah.
You can get a pizza and a biscotti.
Or
Buy our T-shirts.
or like mention one of those like horror sites have like those awesome shirts. Like, yeah, this place right here. I always buy their shirts.
Yeah.
Wink.
I thoroughly enjoyed that segue into the T-shirt thing. That was fantastic.
Yeah. You know what I would love to do on here? I think what would be awesome just for a podcast where it's audio only is if like the horror box would sponsor us and send us boxes and we could open them up
Oh man.
but it's just audio.
That'd be good.
Or he's like pretend. Oh, we pretend we got boxes. Oh, what is this?
That's the best. Like
So then we just have to
it's like
describe.
unboxing video, audio only. Defeats the
So
whole
it's just
purpose. That's
just here like, you know, oh it's okay, so the first thing coming out is the paper.
Yeah.
And then we
Oh,
just have
man.
to and we just have
That
to
sounds like there's a
describe
lot of
everything we're
packing
getting.
material. It sounds like it's probably pretty heavy, guys.
What's
This
this?
is some good shit.
Oh, sticker.
I just think that would be. I think that would be awesome. If I didn't mind paying $25 a month for one.
I've only done it
Yeah.
once.
What did you get in it?
I got like a thing, like the mother alien from Aliens. You like put her together. It's like a little small thing, like a Legos kind of. God, it's been a while ago. Got it from Loot Crate. It was a horror for Loot Crate. Honestly, don't remember. I only remember the alien, like the mother alien that you can put
See,
together.
That's how awesome these things are.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of it's still in the box. I didn't want to like, yeah, 'cause I didn't want to like
Have to preserve the freshness.
Yeah, I gotta preserve it.
So you ordered this box. You waited all that time. It comes in.
Yeah, hang on. Let me go check it out real quick. Hang on.
What was it?
I'll have to edit that in.
Man, Spanish plays the best.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
There he is. That's perfect.
I wonder if that'll count as a copyright strike.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, it came with a R2D2 thing. You have to put them together, which I haven't.
No. Nothing screams horror like an astromech droid.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was like a horror edition. It gave me a bunch of Star Wars stuff. Yeah, that was it. Oh, wait, nope. And a pin that, like, that you put on your shirt. It has like a little robot. So the only horror thing that was in there was the mother alien.
Xenomorph.
You didn't get a t like you don't remember what the T-shirt was?
No, I didn't get any of that.
Oh,
Oh, what? I thought they were supposed to come with at least a T-shirt, make it all cool.
Mm-mm. Not this Loot Crate.
so you got like $10 worth of stuff for $25.
Something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, it's probably something like that. Yeah.
Is
Awesome.
it,
Well,
is it
hopefully,
one box a month or is it like multiple?
Yeah, I
boxes?
mean, you could do it 1 month, or like you could do it like.
you can sign up for 6 months or a whole year.
I mean, there's other ones. There's Loot Crate, and then there's like other ones that are just strictly horror stuff.
The BAM box, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, well.
Some of them comes with like, well, I guess I know where some people's got some of these horror boxes. They come with like horror bath bombs, but I'm pretty sure that's just for the ladies.
Yeah.
Like one had like Freddy Krueger's face or Jason's face.
Hopefully one of these sites are listening and they'll send us one as like a review box
Yeah.
that we can open up.
Special cast.
Yeah, that we can like open up on our on the podcast here and describe everything that comes out.
Yeah.
So that way we won't have to fake it, cough.
All right.
Nope.
But that's still such a stellar idea, just like unboxing video, audio only. It's so good.
Well, I don't know about you fellas, but I am tired.
Yeah,
That's going to be our ending. That's going to be the new ending for the episode.
Just cue me and I'll say it.
We'll always have to end with that. Yeah, so I don't know what we're doing next week.
I guess we'll decide and pick. Well, since you had me pick, this one, show Eric the list and have him pick the next one.
Sure.
Or you can just pick one now from whatever. It doesn't have to be on the list.
Okay, next week's horror classic is gonna be Elbow in Grouchland. All right, let's go.
All right, yay.
All right.
Let me write that one down.
I guess on that note, everybody, thank you for watching or listening. Excuse me, forgot
Listening
this was
and
the
or
unboxing video
watching.
with just the audio.